Today I'm doing a deck profile on my battle building deck. So battle building is basically a deck where it focuses mostly on its set spells, which have powerful effects, and from those set spells you can call out the size 3 monsters from this deck and launch many attacks. You can rush and play very defensively. So without further ado, let's get started. So the buddy we run is Friendship Combi Eyeborg. So yeah, this is the main transform card of the deck. So on the main deck, 3 copies of the Buddy Friendship Combi Eyeborg. Call they pay 2 gauge. And when this card enters the field or right, you gain 2 life. Then if it entered the field or was right by another battle building effect, you gain 3 life as well. So basically, in total, you can gain 5 life from this effect. Then if you are right on this card, the size of all battle building monsters on your field is reduced by 3. So guard right and pay 2 gauge. So basically, all your size 3 battle building can become size 0s. So yes, very strong card. And you can use this to counter call by the set spell effect, which we'll get into later in the deck. So yeah, main card. Next up, 2 copies of Super T Titan Sky Tree. Call pay 2 gauge. When this card enters the field, put up to 1 battle building spell other than Super T Sky Tower from your drop zone into your hand. Then if it entered the field by a battle building effect, put the top 2 cards of your deck into your gauge. This card cannot be nullified with attacking alone. It has penetrate, soul guard, and critical of 4 and 12,000 power. So basically, you can call this your very strong 4 crit attack, and your opponent cannot do anything about it. So yeah, strong card. Can also add any battle building spells, which all of them are very good. Next up, 2 copies of Omen Chronicles Big Cybert. When this card enters the field, draw a card. Then if it enters the field by a battle building effect, choose a card on your opponent's field, and that chosen card cannot stand during this turn and the next turn. And all other battle building on your field gain 5,000 power increase, and your soul guard. So basically, enter the field. Let's say your opponent has a attack monster that or item that can attack like 3 to 4 times a turn by luck. Or let's say you're fighting Gargantua. You can call this that Gargantua cannot stand next turn and they are forced to either call another one or have to use mode switch already. So yeah, pretty good card. And you also gain a 5,000 power boost to your whole field. Next up, 3 copies of Samuel Lock-On, G Gold Path and G Silver Path. Call pay 2 gauge. When this card enters the field, destroy a monster on your opponent's field. Then if it enters the field by a battle building effect, destroy a card on your opponent's field. All battle building on your field cannot be destroyed by a bonus card effect. Yeah, double attack and soul guard. So basically, also by the set spell effect, you can counter call it. Then you can destroy a monster and then a card. So you can destroy two cards on your opponent's field all at once. And it prevents your item from being destroyed. And yeah, double attack, so yeah. Next up, 3 copies of Majestic Deity Grand Holder. When this card enters the field by battle building effect, for this turn, this card gets triple attack. If you are right on a battle building, all battle building on your field cannot be rested by your bonus card effect, and they get critical +1. And this guy's soul guard. So basically, this grants your whole field the pop push you need to finish your opponent, and he has a triple attack on his own, which plus with the crit, 3 crit triple attack. So yeah, pretty good. The last size 3 we play is 3 copies of MST Mac Haver Messer. When this card enters the field, for this turn, the next damage you take by attacks is reduced to 0. Then if this card enters the field by battle building effect, draw a card. Damage you take are reduced by 1, and your soul guard. So this is to help you to survive your opponent and to play a bit defensively. So yeah. Last monster we play is 2 copies of this Martian UFO transformation Takokichi Omega. Call they pay on gauge. This card on the field cannot be destroyed by a bonus card effect. And act if you are right on the battle building, put the top 3 cards of your deck into your drop zone and put up to 1 size 3 or greater monster and up to 1 spell from among them into your hand. You may only use this ability once per turn. So basically, mill the top 3 cards of your deck and add 1 size 3 and 1 of the battle building spells in this deck. Or actually any spell in general. So yeah, very strong card. You don't have to play this as much. You can play more if you want, but this is mostly to get more hand. And a double attack and ride. Pay on engage. So yeah, really good. 2 copies. Moving on to the spell we play, 3 copies of its superhero type. You only card this card with an item equipped, cast cost play 1 life. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck, put up to 1 from among them into your hand, put the rest of your gauge when it cuts this once per turn. So basically, Butt's Link for Hero World. And you don't have to play this is only to get your advantage better. So yeah. Next up, we run 3 copies of Battle Building Online. Cast cost is pay 1 life. Put up to 1 battle building from your monster into the drop zone from your deck, and put up to 1 battle building spell with set into your hand and shuffle your deck. You only cast this once per turn. So basically, this lets you take a size 3 and your spell all at once. So set spells all at once, which is what this deck focuses on. And with this trick, you can actually get combo into very good place. As also, this is a battle building set spell, so your Super T Titans can actually retrieve this if you so desire. So yeah, you can play this at 4 if you want. Next up, 4 copies of the Negates build combination. You may cast this card during an attack on your bonus turn, and if you have a battle building on your field, nullify the attack and put the top card of your deck into your gauge, and you gain 1 life. Then if you have 3 or more battle building on your field, draw a card. So basically, it's like the Super Sun Dragon Shield. Charge and draw, then gain 1 life. So pretty good. Nullify. It's very easy to have 3 battle building on the field. Next up, 4 copies of Futile. If you cast this card, you're being attacked. Counter nullify the attack, then you may pay 1 gauge. If you do, you gain 3 life. So basically, nullify the attack, then you can just gain 3 life afterwards to make yourself even more tanky. So yeah. Moving on to the main card of the deck, the set spells. Play 3 copies of Buddy Academy Hostel. It's a set spell. At the start of your turn, draw a card, and then counteract, pay 1 gauge. If you do call or write a friendship copy Ibok from your hand or drop zone without paying its call cost or write cost, then put this card into the soul. So basically what this does is, let's say this is on the field. Then your opponent attack you. Let's say their power is like 5,000 or something. You can use this skill, pay 1 gauge, then put this card into the soul and write this from the drop zone or the hand. Then by the effect, since you enter by effect, you can gain 5 life instead of 2. So yeah, this is how the set spell works. And since the double R spell, Battle Building Online, can search for 1 set spell and 1 monster to 1 to drop and 1 to hand, you can basically, let's say you don't have the item, you can cast this, take this on the deck, send it down, and then this one to the drop zone. So you will be able to equip this next turn. Something pretty good. This deck has a lot of set spells which add for a lot of synergy, and if you don't use this effect, you can still get to draw 1 card and stop your turn. So yeah, pretty good. One of the main cards of the deck. Next up, we play 4 copies of Super T Sky Tower. At the start of your turn, you may put the top 3 cards of your deck into your drop zone. If you do, put up to 1 battle building spell from among them into your hand. And the counter act, pay 1 gauge. If you do call a Super T Titan Sky Tree from your drop zone or hand without paying its call cost, then put this card into the soul. Oh yeah, they also get soul guard. So basically, you can call this from drop zone. Then since the end of the fight, you can also charge extra 2 gauge. So yeah, pretty good. This is also lets you mill top 3 for adding more hand. So yeah. Next up, we run 3 copies of Super T Dynamic Side. As well. At the start of your turn, you put the top 2 cards of your deck into your gauge. And counter act, pay 1 gauge. If you do call the Omen Chronicles Big Cybert from the drop zone or hand without paying the call cost, then put the card into the soul. So you call this one. Then you can just like this. In the end of the fight, you can prevent your opponent from standing. So yeah. 3 copies. Next up, we run 3 copies of Golden Pavilion, Silver Pavilion. Set spell. At the start of your turn, you may pay 1 gauge. If you do, you gain 4 life. So this very easily lets you heal life. And counter act, pay 1 gauge. If you do call the Gold pair and Silver pair from your hand of drop zone without being the call cost, then put the card into the soul. So it calls this one out. Then since that by effect, you can destroy cards and monsters. So yeah, then you can also heal life quite a lot. So this first one, you don't necessarily have to play in battle building. You can honestly play in any hero world like this one. So yeah. Next up, 3 copies of Super World Grand Hall. At the start of your turn, choose a card on your opponent's field and you may pay 1 life. If you do, destroy the chosen card. Then counter act, you may pay 1 gauge and call the Majestic Deity Grand Hauler from drop zone or hand, paying the call cost there. Call this one. Then put it into the soul. So yeah. And then you gain the triple attack ability for that side 3. Then this one can also just destroy cards. Yeah. Next up, 3 copies of Ocean Messi. At the start of your turn, choose a battle building in your drop zone. You may drop a can card. If you do, put the chosen card into your hand. Then counter act, pay 1 gauge. If you do, call the MST Mag Heaven Messer from your hand or drop zone without making its call cost. You only use this ability once per turn. Not once per turn, just put this one. So yeah, you can just call this one and you can reduce the damage you take to 0 and you can draw 1. So yeah, pretty good. Next up, we play 2 copies of Call Super Machine. Cast card, pay 1 gauge. Search your deck for up to 1 Wave Machine and put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. You may cast this once per turn. Since all your battle buildings are more or less Wave Machine, except for Takokichi or Mega, which is a superhero, you can basically add any of them if you don't have your double R spell that lets you search. So yeah, pretty good. Next up, the last card we play is 2 copies of Hyper Energy. Put the top 4 cards of your deck into your gauge. For the self-explanatory. So yeah, it's also a Wave Machine, so if you want, you can just search up with Call Super Machine and add 4 extra afterwards. So add 3 gauge essentially. Yeah. Okay, so why this deck is very good? Let's say you can start a few hand. Let's say you can set like one of every set spell or something. So let's see a bit. This deck is quite strong once you have a lot of set spells. Just get every set spell on your field essentially, and then you can start spamming. So let's say you already have maybe this card on the field from riding. Since he makes all size 3s and size 0s, since these are all size 3s, they all become size 0s, so you can call as many as you like to the field. So let's say you attack, you can use the skill of this one, maybe pay 1 gauge, and call another one from the drop zone. Then you can gain 5, or you can just ride it again if you want to revive to attack again. So that's another damage. Then you can use this one skill, pay 1 gauge and call this one out. They all +1 crit, and this one gain triple attack, so 3. So 9 damage already. So this is actually, you could call this first attack lah, but you know. So that was about 15 damage already. Then let's say you use this one, pay 1 gauge, you can call out the Super T Titan. Add 1 battle building spell from head drop zone, which can be the nullify, it can be the set spells, or it can be the search attack for the battle building one. So yeah. Then afterwards, you can also charge 2 gauge, so if you're lucky in gauge, you can use this. Attack for 4 crit that cannot be nullified. With this card, add 1 crit. So already that's about 20 damage. Then let's say you have another one, pay 1 gauge. Then you can call this one. Destroy 1 monster and 1 card, then 3, 6. Then afterward, let's say you have more and more. You can keep doing this until your opponent dies. So you can either rush, or you can continuously call monster to your center to protect yourself. So yeah, this deck can easily OTK if you want. It's also currently meta in Japan. It tops a lot of Japan tournaments. Can even beat out Lost World, which is currently in Japan already. So yeah, quite a strong deck. It's very fun, and it's actually very cheap. I was able to build this deck for about, let's say, $90 to $80 around there. I got quite lucky. It was actually very cheap. The only reason it's expensive is because of this, because one of this is like $20 plus. So honestly, if you don't count this card, this whole deck is about maybe $80 to $90. It's a very cheap deck, and it's a very strong one too. And also this card, you don't have to play it, so that actually minus the cost, because you just need the size 3s and you're pretty good to go. So yeah, I hope that wraps up my deck for this battle building deck. I hope you all enjoyed it. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, possible. And I guess I'll see you all next time. Bye.